Hi everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the book Refuge. So if this is the first video of mine you've ever seen, you maybe got here because someone shared it with you or you're curious. Maybe you're into booktube, maybe you're into romance booktube, which is an even smaller niche, or maybe you're just nosy and want to know some people's numbers because I'll tell you, and this isn't a tease, this is a promise, I'm going to get into some of the exact amounts of money that I make on my channel. So the first thing I want to preface about this, and then I'll explain like where we're getting into with this channel. First, hi, like I said, my name is Jen. Please make sure you subscribe to this video and like, and please feel free to share this with anyone that you'd like to. I plan to be really honest and transparent about a lot of things on here, so the more support that this video gets, the better that I'll feel about kind of bearing my like heart and soul here. I'm not a timid person. I'm not scared. I'm happy to answer these questions whenever anybody asks. But I did recently post on my community tab and my Instagram story asking people what are the questions they would like to know, and that they could ask me anything that they wanted, because I know that I was so curious when I was starting BookTube, particularly when I got close to monetization, because I never, like honestly, I never thought I would get it. So many people will say that, they're like, I never thought I'd get monetized, but like that was never my goal. I thought the most I'd ever have would be like 200 to 500 subscribers, and I could just lollygag in my little corner and be lonely and read books, and it would be great. And for the most part, that's what happened. But my group of friends and the like small influence that I have has grown, especially during the time of COVID, because I've really been able to put a lot more time into YouTube, and I want to talk about the areas of it that I've chosen to put my time into and the parts of it that I don't put my time into. And so all of this is going to be personalized to me. As of filming this video, I have my YouTube analytics open right here. I have 3,806 subscribers, so I'm a very tiny, puny, minuscule channel in comparison. But to some of you watching this who have 100 subscribers or just hitting 1,000, that might feel unattainable to you. And I understand, and I'm not speaking down to you when I say that all of the thousands that I have didn't happen until January of this year. I started this channel in April. I think it was April 16th of 2018. So I was doing this for 2.5 years before I hit 1,000 subscribers, or I hit 1,000 subscribers in December of that year. And then I was monetized in January. But anyway, getting off topic, but I just want to set this video up in a good space for you so you understand where I'm coming from, where I'm sitting at, and all advice and everything is going to be personal from me. I'm going to quote unquote like dumb things down because I don't like doing research. I don't like combing through terms like this. I just want to know what are the most important terms in my analytics and what it means to me, and which of those things I need to worry about for me. There are channels who they completely just focus on YouTube analytics and will go through all of those things with you if you want them. I'm here for people who do BookTube, and even more specifically, people who do romance booktube, to talk about my experiences, what I've seen, what my day-to-day looks like, and all those things. So that being said, I've broken this video into 3 parts. A lot of you will probably skip to the monetization part if you want to, but I will have the chapter times down below because I want to hit all the questions that were asked to me, not just the monetization. But I'm going to have this into 3 parts. First is just going to be questions that are personal to me. Some of my followers and subscribers had some fun questions for me. Then I will get into some new booktuber questions. Some people ask me questions about what they should be focusing on, how I got started, how I do those things. And then part 3 is going to be the monetization part of it. And I have kind of a list of questions that one of my friends had asked me about that. And so we'll get into that. I promise to be as detailed as I can, but like I said, I don't get as geeky or nerdy about every little aspect of this. I really just focus on the things that are on the main page of your analytics. And if you want to go deeper into that stuff, you'll need to look up a channel that does that, okay? All right, so let's get started with my booktuber tells all. I'm so excited to do this. This is going to be fun. I mostly got to this because a lot of my friends in my small corner of RomanceTube, which, by the way, if you are watching this because you want to get into RomanceTube, we have a Discord server that is totally dedicated to romance booktube. The link is always in my description if you want to make friends and start making connections, which we're going to talk about. So let's get started with the questions that are for me. So one of the first questions was, what videos do I like to make? So, man, these questions are going to be like really fun. So I'll tell you the answer. The answer is all of them. There are no videos that I make that I don't want to make. I make even the requested videos that people make, because currently I don't have a like paid subscription. You know, people are subscribed to me and I make what money I make off of what people watch. I only make a video if I have something to say about it. Sometimes that leads to I have tons of ideas and I don't need any suggestions from other people. And sometimes that leads to me putting on my community tab like, hey, I can't decide what videos to make for the month of October, so how about you tell me what you want to see? And then I pick through those options to see if I'm ready for it. So sometimes that leads me to, I get suggestions someone will make to me and I don't get around to that video for a couple months. I'm telling you, if you're one of those people who watches me and you're like, wow, Jen never makes my video idea, why won't you do that? It usually has to do with the fact that I haven't read any books that have to do with it, because I'm usually asking people for trope videos. And if I haven't read more than 5 books with a certain trope, I don't make a video about it, because I like to give lots of recommendations because I read lots of books. This is also coming from a booktuber who I'm currently at 515 books read for the year. So if I haven't read any books in that trope, I don't really make I don't make videos about people's suggestions. I may point you towards someone else's video who has read that trope, but in general, if I'm not making your trope, it's because, well, also maybe I've made 3 videos about it already. Like, people ask me to make age gap videos all the time, and I was like, I have 4. I make an age gap video as soon as I have enough recommendations to do it. But I need to have 8 to 10 recommendations before I make a video, because one of the things that makes me popular and why people like watching mine is I do lots of recommendations. Because sometimes you go to a recommendation video and they only recommend 5 books, and let's say you've read 3 of them. Like, I want to make sure you have books to choose from on mine. So anyway, man, this video is going to get long real quick because I'm going to ramble about everything, but that's why you're here. That's why you're here. I don't make any videos that I don't want to make. There are some that I want to make them, but I still put them off because they'll be tedious. So that can happen with like the video that I'm going to make today, where I'm going to need to add a lot of snapshots in, and I'm going to need to, the editing of this is probably going to take me a while because I'm going to need to like match up a lot of things. I can sometimes drag my feet for it, but I'm very excited to make this video, so I'm going to get it done. You know, my friend, I think Avery asked me this question. There aren't any videos that I don't want to make. I love making them all. If there's a video I don't want to make, like, it's not going to get made. That's why I don't make a lot of rant videos, because I don't find joy in complaining about a book. So generally, if I'm ranting about something, it's either Outlander. That got me a lot of subscribers, the Outlander content that I put out, which I'm trying to do more. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? It's Outlander. What can I do? Or if they're like, once in a while there's a topic that I really want to touch on, like when I made my defense of 365 days, I'll make a video and it's a bit ranty, but in general you're going to find the vast majority of this channel is positivity, because I don't dwell on the things that don't make me happy and I don't want to talk about them. So if I'm ranting about it, it's because I need to express it and I want to talk about it. But otherwise I don't do it. So Avery, I like all the videos I make. That's a decision I made right from the beginning, was to do that. Someone asked me, what is my review process? I think Stella asked me this. Do you have a structure, or is it more based on feeling? Yes. It is based on feeling, unless there's something innately messed up with the book that it pulls me out of the story. So I've said this multiple times. I am a 95% emotional-based reader. That's why I go through funks with books. Like recently, I've needed to step away from the darker books which brought a lot of people to my channel. So that's hard for me to do that, but I can't put my mental space at jeopardy just for people's enjoyment. Like I won't do that with this channel. And so now I'm reading a bit of like lighter books or something like that. But because I'm so emotionally based in what I do, like and this helps because I'm reading romance, and really to me, the way to see if a romance is a 5-star is if it gives you strong emotions. Are you crying when you read it? Are you so happy? Do you just want to reach in and jump the bones of the hero or heroine in the book? Like, that is what I'm looking for. I want the author to make me feel things. My friend Lynn, she always laughs at me when I say I cried in a book, and she's like, well, you cry in everything. And I'm like, that's true. It's also why I give a lot of 5 stars. When you watch my monthly wrap up, which will be going up in a couple days, or go back to look at one, you'll notice that the vast majority of romances I read are 5 stars. Because if the book is going to be a 3-star, I usually get out of it. Like, I usually will not continue because I'm not going to waste my time with books that aren't. Like I said, I read a lot of books in a year, and if I were to read the ones that aren't going to make me happy, that's how people get in book slumps. That's how people, like, I think we don't even realize it. Like, we take on books to review, and they're hard to get through because it's not what we want to be reading, but we feel like we're committed to reviewing those books. So you are like pushed into a reading slump. So that is something that I'm always very careful with myself to keep up the high content that I have, is I don't got any room for flabbiness. So most all of my star ratings are going to be 3 and up, or even 3.5 and up. Like, if it's going to be less than, it usually gets DNF'd unless I'm like hate reading it to the end. Then maybe you'll see a 1 or 2 star. But by the end of the year, like at this point in the year, I've given like 3 1-stars and like 6 2-stars because I don't stick around for that stuff. So my process is I am emotional unless it throws me out of the story. Like, if I'm reading a story where, you know, and like the characters are just pissing me off so much, I'll comment on that and maybe be like, hey, you know, you could have had change this a little bit. But a lot of times I'm just going based off enjoyment, because I think a lot of romance readers, especially if you're reading erotica or a historical or whatever, you're not necessarily picking the plot apart. Some people will. And you will find those reviewers on Goodreads. But in general, I only even leave a review unless I am required to, because it's a NetGalley arc, or it's a 5-star or a 1-star. Like, I don't really write reviews for things in the middle because I don't care enough. If it's a 5-star and I want to shout it out, I'll list the things I like. I'll say what about the heroine I liked, what about the hero I liked, the trope and why I liked it, and then a couple reasons why you should read it. That's what I'll do when I'm like writing a review. If you want to see me gush, I mean, there is a library of, you know, hundreds of videos at this point about how I just gush about books. And I have you guys again and again and again tell me you love that about me, that I'm just so happy when I'm talking about the books. People tell me, they're like, there's so much joy from your channel. And it's like, it's because I'm really only reading for enjoyment. So a few of these questions where, you know, you want me to get more nitty gritty, like, I'm just not going to be the one for that. There's other my friends on RomanceTube that actually will analyze books. My friend Izzy really does that. Tamika will do that. Some other people that I am friends with, like, they will more break the romance novel down, whereas I'm just reading it and I'm like, love it or don't. There's not really in between. What videos, are there any videos that are hard to make? So I kind of answered this already. The answer is, like, none of them are really hard to me. I don't have a really complex setup. We're going to get to setup in just a minute. And so all of my videos are how I film them are the same. It's just a matter of what I'm having to put in. I don't overly edit anything that I do. So there aren't any videos that are hard for me to make at this point because all the videos that I'm making, I know what they're going to be. I think that when I did the Outlander TV review series, that was hard just because I was dealing with a different crowd of people. It wasn't just romance readers. You know, there was people who watched the show who were coming to me. And so those videos were kind of like a bit harder on me mentally because I'm having people critique how I critique. And so I was constantly having to say, I am watching this for enjoyment and how it compares to the books. If you want someone else who's going to analyze that stuff, you got to go somewhere else. So that's something for me where if I'm making a video that is maybe a more sensitive topic or something like that, I just lay it out up front. I say who I am, what I do, and how I'm going to be reviewing this. And then I'm like, if you don't want those things, leave. Because if you make a comment that's against it, I'm just going to like not read it because you didn't listen to what I said. So there you go. And then Bree said this, and Bree, I love you. She was like, how do you rarely stumble over your words and not have to edit things out? First off, thank you. Kisses. I love you. You're too good to me. I'll say this. In the beginning, I thought I needed to edit out every and ah and like dead space. That's something that, you know, if you're new, you feel like you need to do more than you need to do. And maybe I do need to take those things out, right? Maybe I could do those things. But the times that I did, to me, it didn't affect it either way. And I haven't ever really had people complain about how I talk. Once in a while, I have someone say that I don't look at the camera enough or whatever. And I'm like, sorry, then don't watch. Like that is pretty much my comment whenever someone says they don't like something about me on camera. It also has really helped me protect my self-esteem, is that if someone's commenting on like what I say because they want to talk, you know, they want to engage about the story that I'm talking about, we can engage, because I love when people disagree with me. I love when we can have a healthy back and forth about something. But if you're going to comment on like how I look or how I talk or whatever, then I'm like, well, then you can go find a different booktuber, because I'm obviously not the person that you want then if you don't like looking at my face, or it bothers you that sometimes when I'm thinking really hard, I stare off in one direction. I'm not here to like be intimate with you, right? Like you don't need to see my eyes all the time. I've gotten better at this. You know, if you go watch a video from the beginning, please don't. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely go check them out if you want to. You can see the growth, right? You can see the growth in it. But what I would say about this is I feel like such a bitch when I say this, but I just have always been really outgoing and naturally love to talk with people. And I will like ramble and go all over. And I found that on Booktube, people like that about me. A lot of people say, I've had older women who watch this say that I feel like a daughter to them. I've had people be like, you feel like a friend that I can, you know, if I see that you liked a book that I like, I want to go see your review because I know you'll be so happy about it. So a lot of that has just come from time, because I was really nervous. I felt like I needed to script things out more, but I found that I was stumbling over my words when I was trying to directly copy things instead of just be in the moment. Sometimes I do have to edit out small things where, you know, but I leave my flubs in because people like to feel like you're human. If I stumble over a word, fine. The only things I really cut out, because sometimes I'll be like talking about a book and I forget a character's name. And then I will like, so, you know, if you ever see that in a video, if you ever see where I'm like, oh, what's this person's name? And there's a jump cut, it's because I was looking at the book for 2 minutes trying to find what their name was. Those are really the only things that I cut out, because I am just comfortable enough now with what I'm going to say. I don't ever plan my videos more than, you know, like when I do my weekly wrap-ups, which those videos go up every like Sunday or whatever. Where is this? Crap, I don't know where it is. I just have all the books listed. I never write down ahead of time what I'm going to say about a book unless I'm doing a dedicated review, because I know that I'm going to say why I rated it that way and a couple things I liked about it. I just know. When I'm doing recommendation videos, it's the same thing. You already know I liked the book because I'm recommending it, so I say what I liked about it. And over time, I've just got really comfortable with it. I try to cut out if I yawn. I try to cut out if I like sneeze or if the doorbell rings, but otherwise I'm getting in front of you guys and I just, you know, I talk really fast and I keep going. So at this point I don't like stumble as much. And if I do, I like leave it in there because it's cute and it shows that it's fun. And I just have found, and I want you to be really careful when you listen to me say this, because I'm not speaking against anyone. I love a lot of booktubers who do this, but I don't like overly cut things. I don't like jump cuts. I don't like when I'm watching someone and after every sentence they cut out a chunk. It feels really jerky to me and I don't feel like I'm in the moment with you. That's just the style that I've adopted, okay? I am not saying it against anyone else. There's people who have way better production values and their videos are beautiful. that's just not what I enjoy. And everything I do on my channel is what I enjoy out of other people's. I'm not saying you shouldn't cut things or make them prettier or try to get it down, but that's how I like to see it. I want to, when I'm watching the video, feel like I sit down to have a conversation with you. And if, when you're talking to me, you can't cut out all your dead space, you know? And so I don't want to do that when I'm talking with you guys, because it makes me feel like we're having a conversation. You know, kind of like Dora the Explorer, right? Backpack, where's the map? No, you don't want me to do that? Okay, we won't, but anyway. All right, so, okay. How long does filming, editing, and uploading take you? All right, so for me, the longest part is filming, because all of my videos, if you go look, all my videos, the general length of them is going to be between 20 minutes and an hour. I make long, rambling videos. Just like I said, I don't cut a lot of things out. I keep my videos pretty much raw footage. So however long the video takes to film, a lot of times I film 2 to 4 at the same time. Like you'll notice this video and tomorrow's video, I'm wearing the same thing, and probably another 2 videos because it's Sunday and I have the time to get these all filmed. And so however long the raw footage is, that time. Then I use an app called KineMaster because I record everything on my phone. I have the entire time. I started with a Samsung 8 and now I'm up to the Samsung S20 Plus is what I use. So I use my phone. There's an app called KineMaster. I pay $3.99 a month for it. It has built-in effects. It has, you know, the little banner that you'll see down here that said, "Welcome to the Book Refuge," right down there. It has the sound effects. It has intro and outro music you can put in, and it has a lot of other effects that I don't even use because, again, I know the stuff that works for me, and I don't really change it up much because it keeps things going quickly for me. So editing a video, depending on the length and how many pictures I have to add in, because I read a lot of ebooks and I try to put a picture of the book up when I'm talking about it. So I download those pictures off of Pinterest, or I take a snapshot of it from Google Images. And so you'll see, you know, then I'll put up a picture of the book. And then, so editing a video, let's say it's my vlog that, or not my vlog, my weekly reading that went up yesterday. All right. Or is going up tomorrow. Sorry. Brain not working. To edit that video will probably take about 15 to 20 minutes because I, maybe unless I put my title card at the beginning, not that long, and then I just kind of skim through the video. I make sure I didn't yawn. I make sure that I get the pictures in all the right places, so I have to listen through to the points where I change the book. You know, I got to put that up. And then at the end, you'll always see, you know, my music starts 5 seconds before it's over, and then my ending image, which is usually the same as the thumbnail, I'll use that. And then I hit export to my phone library. And that takes, depending on the size of the video, just takes a little bit. And then I will start uploading it to YouTube, which all of that stuff, that depends on your internet speed, how long that's going to take. But in general, I just upped my internet speed to, I have 100 megabits, is it per second? How that works, whatever. And now my videos upload a lot faster. I used to only have a 10 megabit because I'm stupid, and that's all that I had. So uploading a video probably takes about like 10 to 15 minutes. So if I were, which I have before, if I were to film the weekly reading, edit and post it all within a thing, I could have that one video done within an hour. Okay, and it would be up and saved and ready to go. So like this morning, I filmed the weekly reading, I'm filming this one, and then I'll get them all updated. So if I have a chunk of 3 hours, I could film 3-4 videos, get them all uploaded, all the data put in, everything in there, and have a week's worth of videos done, right? So I would say that for every watchable hour I have, I spend a half hour getting it put up, okay? I'm just estimating this. Maybe someday I'll actually time myself, but don't care enough to do that, sorry. But for every like edited hour, hour you see, it probably takes an additional half hour to get it up and everything. So let's say I put up 4 videos, they're each half hour piece, so that's 2 hours of filming plus an hour total to get those all put up. So let's say for 4 hours, but so let's say it takes me like 5 hours a week to get 4 videos up. Okay, maybe. Some of my friends I know, you put a lot into it and it shows. Your content is beautiful. You have intro stuff and outro stuff and you do beautiful effects. I just don't. From the beginning, I wasn't going to put that level of effort into it because I knew it wouldn't be sustainable for me. No matter what's happening in my life, I always have at least an hour and a half to get 1 or 2 videos done. Now, especially working from home, I can film something over my lunch hour, which has greatly added to, I always at the end still say I make 3 to 4 videos a week, but I'll get to this in a minute. But in August, I did 24 videos. 2 of them were live streams, but I did 22 videos. So you can see like that is like 5 to 6 a week, some of those, because I will just really want to put up videos. So I put up a lot of content because I keep it simple, stupid. That's what I like to say. I found the easiest, quickest way to get everything up and going. I didn't overthink it. You can do this. You can go back and watch my first video where I'm holding my phone, filming myself, and I stumbled through how to use KineMaster. I just watched a tutorial on YouTube. I followed how to get it uploaded. You can upload everything from your phone and do it. I do use my laptop to add the tagging information and do my monetize stuff because you like need to use a desktop to do that. But if you're just starting out and your videos aren't like monetized at all, you can do everything from a phone, okay? You can do it all from a phone. Then some of my other equipment I said I would show. I don't use this all the time. You'll notice my video, my quality changes sometimes. I have a Lavelle mic here. This is just a little mic that I clip it to my tank top underneath my shirt, and it plugs into my phone. So this is my mic. I have all this in my Amazon storefront. I have the equipment that I use. I think this was like $15. I could be wrong. I have my phone on a stand here, and then I have a selfie light right over here. I can also put my phone in here if I want to, but I like using this stand more when I sit on the floor because it's perfectly straight, whereas this is like, I don't spend a lot of money on my equipment because YouTube, we're about to get into the monetization part. I promise it's coming. I needed this to be a minimal. So my startup spent, I bought a mic, I bought a light, I bought a stand. I spent like $60 on everything when I first started. Now I've went through a few lights. I went through one stand that broke. I went through a different mic because new phones had like different plugins. So all in all, equipment wise, I've spent maybe $250 over 2.5 years. Okay. All right. What else? I think, oh yes. And then to do my thumbnails, I use PixelLab, but there is plenty of things out there that you could use to make your thumbnails. Again, thumbnails is an area I want to improve in because I now have like Spark. I have like Adobe Spark is something that I use for like my Instagram stories, but there's always room for improvement. You don't have to do this all right at the beginning, right? Like I started, you're not going to have anyone following you when you start, okay? And just, you'll have maybe like 10 to 20 people who find you through the Booktube newbie tag, because that's what you should always start with. If you start with Booktube, start with the Booktube newbie tag, answer the questions. There's people like I look up the Booktube newbie tag who has done them most recently to find new people to talk about or to start watching. But you will have room to practice and get better, okay? You don't have to be great at this the first video you make. In fact, you won't be. And if you try to stress on that too much, you are going to like pop a blood vessel in your brain if you try to do that, okay? All right, we got to keep it moving. Okay, so now I'm going to transition into what new booktubers should focus on, okay? This is part 2. We're in like part 2 of the video. The first half was a half hour. Dear God, this is going to be a long video. But I've talked about this a little bit already of like what to focus on. So I wrote down a couple things with this. First off, find the niche that you love, okay? Because the best thing that's going to help you in the beginning, someone asked me, what should new booktubers focus on? I say there's 2 things. Finding which things you want to focus on. If you're on Booktube, you're already in a niche, but it's okay to go down even more than that, because what you want to focus on is building loyal subscribers. And you do that by finding what you love to talk about and talking about it. So if that is fantasy, dive into it. If that is YA, go for it. If it is erotica or dark romance, go for it. I didn't start out as that. I started out as YA and fantasy content is what I was making, because that's what I was reading the most back then. That's what I talked about. I did reviews for individual books. I did haul videos because I was buying a lot of books. Those were really fun to do. TBRs. I did all of the like normal like booktube videos, but I liked doing them. That's the thing. If you don't like doing those, find what you want. Maybe you are going to review like every book that you read. Maybe you only read 10 books a month or 5, but you're going to do really great in-depth reviews about those with non-spoiler and spoiler content. Do that. Don't listen to where they say like, oh, well, people don't watch individual reviews. They don't get enough views or whatever. And it's like, don't listen to that stuff, because you have to find what is going to be sustainable or you will not last. I haven't made 3 to 5 videos a week for 2.5 years doing videos I don't want to do. All right. I would have given up a long time ago, because there's a long journey of this where only the people who like you are going to be watching your channel. Okay. Because you're not going to be sponsored. You're not going to be monetized. You're going to be doing this for the community. And so you need to be yourself, and you need to be talking about what you love. Okay. So that is my best advice. Find which niche you love. Maybe you're going to read all of it. Cool. That's cool. That's fine. Like, I read everything. Back then I used to read a lot more of everything. I was reading historical romances and high fantasy. I was reading Brandon Sanderson, and I was reading Julia Quinn. Like, my wrap-ups would have that whole range of books in it. And I still was finding people to watch me, right? Like, that's what you have to do. So don't focus on like solely what is popular. My next piece of the advice is find stuff that's popular that you like. Okay, so you should find some things that are popular so you can start making videos that fit in. Maybe there's a tag that's going around that you want to do it and no one tagged you in it. Who cares? No one's going to tag you in stuff in the beginning. They're not. So hop onto it. Do the fall into reading tag. Join some readathons. That's going to be great, because if you join in and you say it, the host is probably going to follow you back. They're going to want to see what you're doing, what you're posting about it. So you're going to start having people. They're going to like share your Instagram. That's something else. You should be on other socials. You should really be on Instagram and Twitter. I did not want to be on Twitter at all. You don't have to be. You don't have to be. But I had my first big jump in my channel. I went from 250 to 600 during the month that I added Twitter. Okay? Because there's a lot of booktubers on Twitter who want to do follow chains. Find a follow chain on Instagram. There's some of those going on all the time. You can just type in hashtag Instagram follow chain. You follow everyone in the chain, and then everyone in the chain follows you, and you start adding and building. And then some of those people who are doing that, you say, hey, I have a booktube channel. This is the stuff I review. And you put pictures of the books you review. Some of those people are going to go look. You really have to be willing to hustle in the beginning as a booktuber, but also make sure it's always stuff you want to be doing. Okay? If you don't want to be doing it, then you're doing it for the views. And that's an empty road, guys. It is an empty road to go down. You cannot be on Booktube for the views, okay? You can't be on Booktube for the views. Ask the most successful member of the Booktube community how long it took before they did anything, all right? Ask Jess, Peace Love Books, who has a really good size YouTube channel now. It's still puny compared to YouTube as a whole. And she's been doing this, hasn't she been doing this for like 8 years? 6 to 8 years? And she's at the place where she is. So don't compare your first month to someone who's been doing this for 6 years, okay? Managing expectations is a huge part of YouTube, and especially Booktube, okay? Because you're really niche and it takes a long time to grow you up. But like I said, build community. Find the things that are popular that you also like, but mostly focus on what you love. So you want to have a mix of that. Find community. I have in the description of every one of my videos is a link to a romance booktuber Discord. Granted, this is niche to romance booktube, okay? But we have a spot where you can share your channel, your Instagram, your Twitter, and then all of us will follow you, right? We're gonna start watching your content and supporting you. Instant family, okay? It's really fun. I try to do every 1 to 2 months, I do a romance booktuber shout out, which is such a good thing to get on. You know, if you get on those, you make yourself known, you're gonna be great. Find other people that you have a like contact with them. Don't ask them to check you out. Please don't do that. I know, like, it's one thing if it's a follow chain because we know we're doing it to follow each other and help each other out. Please don't stalk people's channels and ask them to watch you. Just start being active in their channels. Find people who have 1,000, 2,000 subscribers because I guarantee you they're reading every comment. Like I said, what am I at? I'm at 3,800 subscribers. I still read and either heart or comment or on every comment I get, okay? Because it's not so overwhelming that I can't do it. So if there is someone that I see them pop up on 3, 4, 5 of my videos and I see that they like have a channel, I'm gonna go check out their channel. Because I'm like, oh wow, this person's name is like I Heart Romance. They maybe do romance videos. Let me go check them out. And I'll go check them out. And it's people who do thoughtful reviews. They're not just saying like, hey, we do the same content. Come follow me. Please don't do that. It becomes spam. Some people even directly send that stuff to spam. You're gonna have to interact more than just giving a heart and a like to stuff. You're gonna need a comment and put thoughtful comments. Give them recommendations. I love, 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 love. I have tons of people who are like, oh, I just read a book with that trope. It's called The President's Daughter. It was super romantic and cute. And then I'm like, ooh, I'll add that to my list. And then if I read it, I'm like, hey, this girl Josie, she has her own YouTube channel. She just suggested The President's Daughter to me, and it was amazing. You should go check her out. It only takes one good, like, shout out from someone who has a, you know, a little bit for all of their viewers to be like, oh, let's go support this person. Because I'll tell you, romance booktube is one of the most loving and just amazing places. Like, there's drama in every community, but I'll tell you the vast majority of it here has been some of the most loving and amazing people that I've ever found. And I really found a home when I found romance booktube. Like, that's my niche, that's where I belong, and that's where I want to be. So this is just, you know, again, this is just coming from me. Don't take my word as law, but that is where I found my longevity and where I've really found a home. Is I found a group of creators that are like-minded to, well, not even like-minded, but like-passionate. Like, there is so many things that are different from me than the people that I'm friends with here, but they are so supportive. And the things that we do on, like, we do readathons together and we do our live read-alongs every week, and it's my favorite part of the week, especially during COVID when I am trapped in my home. When I get to log on and see their faces and have a great time with my friends, it just makes the sun come out and it makes me so happy. So that is what you really want to do in the beginning. All right, so let's go through my list. So here we go. Find what you love. Find what's popular that you love. Build your community around yourself. Start liking and following those other people and commenting on their videos. Be active. This is a small community. We know each other and we talk about what we see. We're like, oh my gosh, this one person, they've been commenting a lot on us. Have you talked to them yet? Have you reached out to them? It happens. I promise you it does. My girls, my friends watching this, tell them down below. Tell them that we're welcoming and we want you and we love you already. So come knock on the door. We're here for you. All right. And then, yeah, be supportive of others. Don't be a flame starter. Okay. Like, you can be spicy and do your thing, but like, just don't be cruel. Don't be mean. We can have discussions where, like, it's always obvious to me when someone's like not part of the heart of a community because they jump in like throwing razors and like not knowing the people that they're commenting on like that. And then I'm like, oh, that person like doesn't get it. Like, what's going on? And it's really obvious. Like, it's really obvious when you don't have that respect for other people, and it will be noted and again shared between people who notice it. And then the last one, which I've been mentioning this, be consistent. Be consistent. I know life gets in your way. I know maybe you have kids. I know that you're not like me and you can't post 3 to 5 times a week. That's okay. That is so okay. That is not my point. That is what works for me. There are plenty of people who only do weekly or bi-weekly videos or monthly videos. I will say you're probably looking at a longer grow time, because one of the things that is going to help you grow the most, and I'm going to talk about that in the monetization part of it, is you need content for people to watch if you want to get to monetization, because it's based on view hours. So if you're only posting once a month and your videos are only 10 minutes long, that's only 120 minutes of view time if someone were to watch every video you made in a year. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's going to take a really long time. But if you can have it set up where every Wednesday I post my video, it's going up, that's how you can build a following. Because I'll tell you, the people that I stay following, the people that I stay subscribed to, I know that I'm getting 2 to 3 videos from them a week, and if they're not going to be posting, they've told me on their Instagram or Twitter. They're like, hey, I'm going to be on my family vacation. I only have 1 video that's going up while I'm gone, but I promise I'll be back. I know life happens, like I said, but if you're going to want to build and keep your fans, the people who will be consistent are the ones who will last. Like, they're the ones who last, because it shows your subscribers that you're sticking around. I don't know what the statistics are about this, but I know it's a much higher rate. Like, people will watch so many videos of you before they're willing to subscribe to it. You know, they want to see more than 1 video usually of you proving that you're going to be good content for them to watch before they promise that subscribe, before they're willing to see you pop up in their subscribed list, okay? So be consistent. Figure out what that is for you and let people know. If you don't want to say it in every video like I do, right? At the end of every video of mine, I say, I put up 3 to 4 videos a week. Make sure to subscribe, or you can watch some more of my videos right now. That's what I say at the end of every video. Put it in your description. Also, in every one of my descriptions, I have a 1-paragraph thing that says, hey, my name is Jen. I've been making videos since April of 2018, and I have been putting up 3 to 4 videos a week since then. People know this girl's serious. She's been doing this. If I subscribe to her, I have a lot to look forward to with her, because she's going to stay around. And so if they watch a couple of my wrap-ups and they see, number 1, how many books I read, and number 2, that I am consistently posting all the time, they're going to be more willing to buy into me, because once we get to this monetization piece, people are buying into you. They are giving you their time so that YouTube will give you money. And if you will end up getting if you will do live shows where people are buying stickers, or you end up doing channel memberships, people will actually be paying for you. And then you do have more of a buy-in with them and promises that you're making to people. So you need to show, just like you would with your employer, you're your own employer when you do this, okay? So you need to set a schedule like it's important to you. Even if for the first 2 years, like me, it's not going to be paying you. You are putting into the future. Every video you do is more watch minutes for people to find later on. Every bit of content that you create is something that's going to be in your library, that's on your resume as something for people to watch, okay? All right, let's move along, because I know we're going to talk about this a lot. We're going to get to part 3, which is the monetization questions, right? I need to hydrate a second here. All right, here we go. I promised you I would be really raw and open about this. I don't even feel, this isn't scary for me. I don't mind doing it. One thing I will say, like I said, I film this on my phone, so I'm not going to do a cool split screen with you. I'll try to put some screenshots in here so that you can see that I'm telling the truth, I guess, or whatever. I'll even scoot over this way a little bit so I have room for big pictures. But for the most part, I'm just going to describe to you the things that I'm talking about, because it's going to be easier, but I'll try to put some screenshots too. So first, let me tell you, I'll tell you the how, I'll tell you my personal story with this, and then I'll tell you my journey, and then we'll get into the actual dollar amounts, okay? So here we go. First thing, how do you get subscribed? How do you get monetized, all right? That is something maybe you already know if you're watching my video. But there are 2 thresholds that YouTube wants you to hit. There used to be other rules. Those rules don't matter if you haven't been monetized yet, okay? There are 2 thresholds. The first threshold you need to hit is you need to hit 1,000 subscribers. Now, this makes perfect sense when I'm going to get into how much money you actually make per like views that you get. And I understand now as a creator who is getting a paycheck from YouTube why they want you to hit that minimum, because if you have less subscribers than that, which to be honest, like the number of subscribers you have does not affect how much money you make. It does not. It's based more on your views is where that's going to come. But YouTube knows that the less subscribers you have, probably the less views that you're getting. So that's why it's linked with subscribers. It also shows a little bit of like, you know, commitment to that too, because to like get to 1,000 subscribers, there's some people who they'll put up one video and it's like famous and they'll instantly get that. But in general, if you're a small creator who's starting from nothing, like you don't have a following on TikTok or Twitter or Instagram, like if you're starting from the ground zero, which is like where I started, I started at ground zero, you're not gonna have anybody watching your videos, so you don't need to be monetized yet. So you need to have 1,000 subscribers. And then the second thing is watch time, okay? Generally, you'll probably hit the subscriber thing first. It depends on the window between the two. For me, it was only about a month's time. I'll tell you the reasons for that later on, but like I have a couple friends in RomanceTube that they are both like, one of them's over 1,000, but they're still many viewing hours away from hitting that. And so we're trying to help by like watching as many minutes as we can hit. So there's 4,000 viewing hours. Now, once you hit both of those, you can be monetized. All right. But here's something that I'll tell you though. So in your YouTube studio, you can get pre-approved for monetization. And then all you're waiting for is for those 2 things to be hit. So you can go into your YouTube studio, go into monetization, and you can go ahead and get pre-approved, because you're going to need to set up a Google AdSense account, and you're going to need to get like a bank account attached to it, and then you're going to need to like read what you need to read from them. You know, there's stuff to read and promise and all those things, and you get that set up because that can take a while to get approved. Then YouTube or AdSense, Google AdSense is going to send you a thing in the mail that has your PIN number, which you will need to activate your AdSense account. So actually, the sooner you can get that done and ready to go, which I still recommend, like wait till you're maybe at like either you hit the subscriber count or you're getting close to it, because I mean, it won't hurt you to have it up that early, but it's also, I feel like it just sets your hopes like waiting for it when you may have a long time to wait. But in general, you want to get that stuff set up ahead of time, because then once you once you smash those 2 thresholds, you will get monetized quicker. So I went ahead, and because it was coming up to the end of the year too, when I was going to hit 1,000 subscribers, I went ahead and set up my AdSense account and did all that stuff probably about in November. I hit 1,000 subscribers in December of 2019. And then I was only about 400 watch hours away. And the reason for that is because I have a lot of content. Like I said, I had been making videos for almost 2 years at that point, and I was making 3 to 5 videos a week, and they were between 20 minutes and 40 minutes, okay? So each video people are watching with me, my watch time, which that's one of the analytics that is really important to me personally, is my average view duration, because how many minutes they watch is what you need to hit in the beginning, right? You need those viewing hours. So the longer your videos and the longer people are watching them, the more you're getting out of each view that people are sticking around, right? And eventually what that will mean is the longer the video, the more ad content you can have on a video, all right? Just being real with you. The longer your video, the more ads you can have in it, okay? That doesn't mean you should put 1 billion ads on a video. Like, because people won't like that. And then if they're not watching it, your watch time will suffer, and then it won't matter how many ads you put on it, because you can put as many ads on a video as you want. But if your video isn't worth it to the person who's, the company that's buying ads on it, there won't be any ads on your video. Something to think about. We get a little ad happy when we're new, because you want it to happen. But I really, I tried to cut back on how many ads are in mine in the beginning. Anyway, sorry, getting sidetracked. So anyway, you will need to have the AdSense account set up. You will need to get that pin. You will need to get all of that set up, and then you're waiting. And you are sending your videos to your friends. Something that was really helpful for me, I made playlists. If you can get people to stay on your playlist for a while, they could be watching you for hours, okay? I know I do it. I was watching a bunch of Daniel Green's videos yesterday. He had a bunch of book reviews, and I was watching his channel for an hour and a half, okay? So just be you'll do whatever you have to do. You'll hit it, and then they're going to review your channel. So once you hit both of them, you'll I think it automatically gets reviewed, or else you have to submit it for reviewed. I can't remember which it is at this point, but you'll have to do that. I'm sure you'll be checking your thing daily to see when you hit it, because you're viewing hours and stuff, updates daily and the thing. So you'll be waiting. Oh, what's happening? And then it can take, I think they say it takes 2 to 6 weeks to happen. I think mine happened fairly quickly. Can't remember if I wrote it down. I might have wrote this down at the time because I thought I wanted to know it. Let me see. Did it like that? Nope, I didn't put it in this one. That's okay. But I know mine didn't take too long, and then boom, you can start putting ads on your content. So then you can make the choice to ad hoc to retroactively put ads on all of your videos. You can decide if you want to do that. You can decide maybe if you only want to do that to specific videos, or you can choose to just do it on videos that have done really well for you and are still getting lots of views, which you can check in your analytics by going in and seeing how many monthly views you're still getting on them, because maybe you still want to leave that content to not have ads on it. That's up to you. I chose to retroactively put ads on all of mine because in the beginning you're really excited and you want it, and I understand, and it's okay. You can do that. And then we get into the numbers part of it. So when there's 2 numbers that really determine the money that you're making out of this. And at the beginning of this video, remember I prefaced that I did minimum amount of research for this. I'm just telling you the things that are important to me. If you want to know what every little part of YouTube Studio does, you're going to have to go look that up, because I'm not going to do it. But there's 2 numbers that are going to be the most important to you. And that's going to be on the revenue page of your channel analytics, there's 3 numbers you'll see when you pull it up. I'll put up a screenshot of this one. There is your estimated revenue, your RPM, and your CPM. And so on the main page, it's set to show you the last 28 days, which is, the last month, what you've done. And so that number on mine, it's $176.50 is what I've made in the last month. There is my RPM is 609 and my CPM is 1234. So there's a couple reasons that I know if you look this up, you look up what is the highest CPM. A very high CPM is anything over $10 is very good. So CPM stands for cost per milla playback, but it really means cost per 1,000 playbacks for the advertiser. So that number, that 1234, is how much YouTube is selling ads to my channel for every 1,000 clicks that I get, okay? Now, again, you can look more into that if you want to, but basically that's how much you cost an advertiser, okay? That's what that means. RPM is how much money you are making off of those ads that are put on there, okay? Because those are 2 different things, all right? Because you don't get all the money that the advertisers are paying for you, right? Google gets some of it. Your YouTube gets a lot of it, right? You are getting, so for those, because RPM means revenue per 1,000 playbacks, and that's for you. So that's what those 2 numbers mean. CPM is what YouTube is able to sell you for, and RPM is what you're able to glean from what they sell you for. So as you can see, I'm making about 50% of what I'm worth. All right. So the RPM is based on a few things though too. And so for me, this is only based off of red ad revenue, but there are different ways you make this money. You make it off of ads, channel memberships, YouTube premium revenue, super chats, and stickers. Okay. So if you're someone who you do live chats and people are buying stickers or doing things, I've only ever had one sticker bought. It was during one of my like live reaction videos that I did. Someone can, you know, choose to support you and boost you and send you something. And that YouTube takes about 40% of that. Like I had someone send me a $20 chat and I got $14.40 out of the $20. So that lets you know what I made out of that, right? So if I were to add channel memberships, if more people subscribe to me who have YouTube premium, I'm going to make more off of them. But currently I'm making about $6.09 per 1,000 clicks on my videos. Okay, to the best of how I know how to explain this again, remember. So that number, RPM, which we always hear CPM is important, and it is important because the more that you're worth to them, the more ads that YouTube of yours is going to try to sell. And in general, I've heard that like YouTube channels usually have pretty good CPMs because we're a bit safer to put ads on. So even though you know I talk about some spicy things on my channel, I am a safe channel to put stuff on because I'm not showing graphic things or doing any like politically questionable things. Nobody is making copyright strikes against me, and I am fully green. Like I don't have any demonetized things at all because I'm not talking about copyrighted things. So I'm a safe bet for advertisers, even though I still talk about really sassy things and I say fuck on my videos and stuff. I have a really good RPM or CPM. So I talked about what my 20-day running. So I also looked up my year trailing numbers to show you how that has improved, right? So that's what I'm at now after when I'm at, 3,800 subscribers. For the last 9 months, right, because I got monetized in January, my RPM for that whole time is only $4.40. And my CPM is $10.78. So I'm still doing really good. I'm still above $10 for that 9-month period, which is pretty exciting. So now let's talk about, so there also I'll show you like my average like videos. My videos generally make about $10, like is a good, like that's like where I'm like aiming to get to. My videos average between 500 and 1,000 views depending. And have figured out that like with I usually get about a penny a view. So that's just what I have in my head always, right? So no, wait, I said that wrong. Like half a penny a view. So if I have 1,000 views, I maybe am making like $5 on that video. If it gets up to between 1,500 and 2,000, I may be getting more like $10 for that. Okay, so I'm not making a lot off of videos. Again, I don't do sponsorships. I've never been approached by any. I don't really want to do them because I don't want to deal with companies like that or doing those things. So you definitely could take those things on. I am throwing around doing channel memberships, but I need to do some more research and see what I have to offer people and see what they would want from me. But that's probably like as far as I would go with it because again, this is a hobby. This is a side hustle, basically only to support books that I buy is eventually. So, all right. The other question I got asked was, hold on. How long before I got my first paycheck was asked to me. So, like I said, I got monetized in January. And I'm going to show you a picture of this in a second. Let me pull this up. So I got monetized on like January 6th. All right. It took until May. So in April, I hit $100. So here's how it goes. You will monthly get paid out from AdSense, but they won't pay you out until you hit $100. Okay. So that's why hitting that 4,000 viewing hours and 1,000 subscribers is about where YouTube realizes that people start making enough that they'll even get paid out, because they don't need to have all these people have monetized accounts when they're not even making enough to get paid out. And I have heard that with the old system, there was some people who were monetized for a year before they got a payout. So for me, my first month being monetized, I made $21.10 in January of this year. Then in February, I made $29.31. And then in February, I made $43.85, which still didn't put me over $100. But then my Outlander video started in April, and I made $69 that month. So I made it over the threshold. And so in May, I got my payout for the first 4 months. And my first paycheck from Google AdSense, YouTube was $163.26. And that took 4 months to happen. Okay. So that was my first paycheck. Whoop, whoop. Super exciting. I was so happy. Spent it all on some books right away. It was great. Then in May, I hit it. I had $213 because I had my first video kind of go bananas. I had a video about Outlander. The Outlander finale video just did super well for me, and I made a good amount of money off of that one. And so I had a good month. But then when Outlander was over in June, I only made $96. So I didn't get paid out for June. So then I didn't get paid out again until August, when my June and July got rolled in together, and I got paid for that. And now both August and then I'll get paid out for September as well, because now I finally reached a place, as you'll be able to see from this, July, August, September, I've made more than 100 each month. I will be getting paid out every month. Okay. I'm finally at that place where I'll get paid out every month, and it took 9 months to happen. So my year total so far is $977 I've made for 9 months of being monetized. So there you go. There's the nitty gritty of my channel. That is what I'm making and what it looks like. Izzy also asked me what my monthly views were versus how much that I made. So I will pull up the month of August here, and I'll tell you those things because she asked about those. So last month, which was my best month, like I said, back in May, I did good, but that was an anomaly because it was a video went like really good for me. So in the month of August, I had 28,813 views, and I made $147. I had 24 videos go up. 3 of those were live shows. So I had 21 videos that I made over 4 weeks. So that shows you I was putting up about 3 videos a week. And I don't have any to monetize. I have no strikes against my name. I've only ever had 3 videos be flagged. One of them was the light versus dark readathon. One of them was one of my the very first like taboo video that I made. And so what it did is it gave me a limited monetization, which is this little yellow mark, which means they are questioning a video. I'll tell you this, in that video, we talked about pegging. We talked about a lot of other sexual things. What I did is I sent it in for manual review, which I'll tell you this, unless you've had like actual strikes against you, the manual review I find always gets approved. But the problem is they may approve you for ads, but that doesn't mean that advertisers will still pick you to put the ads on, because that's the thing. Again, you could place 20 ads in an hour-long video, But that doesn't mean that when that video is watched by people that there'll be that many ads on it, because the advertisers still get to pick which videos that their money is put on. So something to keep in mind. And then my CPM that month was $11.20. So it was pretty good. I've been keeping my CPM is up pretty high. And so now I'm getting to the final thing about what my tips and tricks are for this. I hope that was enough about the money you want to know. If you want to know more, just ask away. Again, I can't, like, I'm just trying to answer the questions that were like asked to me in this. If I missed something, if there's more you want to know, please ask it. I'm just, I asked these questions ahead of time and I had to do what I had to do. So now I'm going to talk about a couple of the things that were like my strategy to make the most that I can make out of them. And then we'll wrap this puppy up because this is an hour plus video and I'm sorry, but not sorry. I'm answering all the questions today. Like I said, I love to ramble. I love to talk and people like to watch it. My average video duration has went up significantly. Like I said, I don't edit a ton out of it. I'm not trying to keep my videos smaller. I think that's silly to think that, your videos aren't suggested because they're a certain length. I like to do discussions about books. That's why I'm here. I want to talk about it. I do more spoilery type reviews. I like to give lots of details about a book, and I have been again and again and again praised for that, and people like that, and it keeps people coming back, and people are excited to see what I have to say about things. And so I've built a loyal viewership based on long form discussion and lots of content. And so that gives me pluses in two places. I'm putting up 3 to 5 videos a week, which are all 30 minutes to an hour long. And so I'm making the most out of every view that I get. If a video of mine has 1,000 views and the average viewing duration was 10 minutes, like how many minutes am I adding to that, right? How many ads are going to be able to be played because they're like, oh wow, people are watching her videos for a long time. That's why my CPM is so high. That's what I'm saying. I could be wrong. You could look this up. Is because people are watching my videos and staying on them. And so when YouTube is selling my ads, because a lot of your ads are sold at auction, like they batch sell ad space to people from what I understand. They are like showing them those numbers, right? And so those numbers are what they're buying. They're like, oh wow, we're going to get 3 of our ads shown on this video. And people are going to watch, like they're going to see those ads because they want to finish watching her video. Sorry. So those are some of the strategies I have employed, as well as, like I said, making a community. My channel has grown exponentially since April. Maybe it was earlier. It was January or February. I was just getting monetized when Bree from Bree Hill, or she doesn't really do her YouTube channel anymore, but she's really active on Instagram. She brought me into the romance booktuber community, and I was starting to read more and more romance, but I was just kind of doing it all on my own. And she brought me into that community and gave me the greatest gift. Like, Bree, if you watch this video, Bree Hill, Bree, I have lots of Brees in my life. Bree from In Love and Words, such a dear friend. Tamika from Library of Tomes. I would list them all. Sarah and Nicole and Avery and Kayla. Like, I love these women. And Charles, there's men in there too. Charles from Books on Stereo. They're who I talk to every day. And there's who is watching my videos and commenting on it. And in return, I am loyal to them and I talk about them. And so even though I have more subscribers than they do right now, I look up to a lot of them for the way that they're building their channels and the dignity they have in what they put out. Again, I do like the bare minimum of like editing and putting stuff up. And that's worked for me. That's helped me be kind of like a juggernaut for how much content I put out. I also read, 70 books a month. So I have a lot of recommendations I can make and things like that. You don't have to be that. You just need to find what you love, be consistent, find a process that works for you, build your community. All right? Don't get overwhelmed by that. This is not a race. It is not a race. And if you set the expectations of that wrongly, you're going to hurt yourself. You hurt yourself mentally and you could burn yourself out. I have said from the beginning that I always need to be able to sustain this and not burn myself out. And so people ask me how I don't burn myself out because they're like, you put up so many videos. And I'm like, yeah, but I only film 1 or 2 days a week and I get everything edited and everything put up. And so then I just get to sit back and watch it. And I get to comment with you guys whenever I want to. And I join the live shows when I can. And so really, I mean, I'm putting in a lot more time than I think just because, you know, we have our phones. So I'm checking my stats all the time and whatever. I mean, I'm a little obsessed with that, but mentally I can handle it. It doesn't hurt me. Maybe you can't have your alerts on your phone. Maybe you answer every comment, but you only do that for like an hour a day or 2 times a week you answer everything. But the point is you got back to those people. You commented on them. But having that instant feedback loop can be hard if you can't handle it. I just don't have any triggers for that. I have no ego. I'm not vain. I'm happy to share with anything. So any criticisms that I get that are painful, I just say, move along. And any that are helpful, I'm like, thank you for pointing that out. I'm going to implement that immediately. Thank you so much. And I do. And it's helped me. You know, people who say things about like, oh, you need the lights, or oh, I can't hear you that well, or whatever, I just say, then find a booktuber who does. You're here watching my video because I offer something that you want. So if you want it, say something nice. And if you don't, bye. Bye. You're not sustaining me. You're not my source of income. You're my fun money. You're my book money. You're my passion. But if you are going to be toxic or like not fun, kick them out. Even if you are a tiny channel and you feel like you have to be nice to those people, you don't. You are not here to be bullied. You are here to make content that you love and have fun and maybe make some money doing it. You are not here to be treated like less than you are. And if anyone's doing that to you, whether it's a channel that has 100,000 subscribers or it is just a little old granny who's watching at home because you read a thriller book that they like, you don't put up with that shit, okay? Don't put up with it. Just move along, kick them out, block them. There's this thing called block. You can block someone's comments and they never know. I'm not telling you who or what, but you can block those person and they will still watch you, watch your ads, comment on your video. And if they're a toxic person who's being mean to you, you're getting their ad money and you never have to see them. Okay? That was something that was told to me by my good friend Murphy Napier when I had some people bitching about the kind of books that I was reading. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, block them. Because they're going to keep watching your videos and typing to their heart's content, and you don't have to hear it. So if you're getting bullied by someone, get rid of them. That's my last note. A little bit of Jenn spice at the end. Wow, this video was so long. Thank you for watching it. I'm planning to do this as a live watch along. So if you watched through this whole thing with me, I love you. Thank you so much. Please send your questions. Me and my other friends who are monetized will be here to answer. Please check out the Discord server. I have one for my personal channel, and there's also one for the romance community if you want to join in. Get on follow trains. Find people. We're here. We want you. We want to see what you have to offer. Even if it's your first video and you're scared, we're here, and we'll be gentle with you. I promise. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe and like if you like this. Share this with someone who wants to see it and is willing to watch an obnoxiously long video with Jenn. And I make new videos 3 to 4 times a week, and you can watch some more of them right now. Bye.